Hello, everyone. It is Jasmine bringing you a Saturday melancholy message. Now, don't be concerned. Melancholy isn't a thing that we need to be in concern of. It is. It is a part of this experience. It must be present, even though it's not ideal. It must be present. And I think when you're having moments of, a downward, below the line sort of vibe, yes, it can be very, very tumultuous, but you have to remember that the melancholy is just as important as the moments that are joyous or exciting or amusing or creative or of the heart. I also want to speak on, it's moments of melancholy, I think, for me, where there's this longing or like really, really deep, sorry, there's like a great glow behind me, a deep yearning for like some sort of comfort or people or family, right? Or some sort of, I guess, just something to make you feel a little bit better, like over the melancholy. And it's funny because we like scurry for it. At least me, like the second I feel the melancholy, I'm like, okay, well, I gotta like call my family, or I gotta like, I don't know, I gotta figure this out. This isn't right. I gotta fix it. And then the body gets really stressed out. I don't know whether you notice, but in the moments where you're trying to fix the melancholy, my body just becomes very heavy feeling, like it's hard to do anything. Like when you're asleep, and you really are thirsty and you think you've already gotten up to get water, but really you haven't, but you keep going back and forth with that. That's how it feels. So to me, the reaction to melancholy being like, oh, I gotta fix it, or I gotta like stress out to fix this, isn't a good reaction, just because at least how my body then takes that in is that I feel sort of this heavy, achy feeling throughout my body. So what I'm inviting you to do, and what I'm trying to do for myself, is welcome the melancholy and remember that it's needed. Um, it's the surge, it's the breakthrough, it's the realization that this is all sort of fleeting. I want you to reframe the melancholy or the depression or whatever you want to call it, right? Melancholy to me is a softer term than depression, but just welcome it and remember that it's a surge and a breakthrough into the present moment. It's an invitation for you. And it's not an invitation to fix necessarily, but it's an invitation to really see internally what's going on. Because I think when we fix, or when I'm feeling that Saturday 4 p.m. like it is now, melancholy of like, what am I doing? Where are the people I love? I just want this. I just want my mom. I just want, like, when I'm feeling that, it's really just an invitation to go internal. Because I think I was just saying, right? Well, I want my mom. That's all external, right? And it's an illusion of comfort. It's like, I want my mom, or I want, some popcorn, or I want to go see my friend, or I wish I was in Greece, or all these things that we think are going to fix this melancholy moment, the melancholy moment. But really, they're just illusions of comfort. And really, that melancholy moment is your spirit inviting you to yourself. It's inviting you to be the safety net for you. It's inviting you to be the comfort to yourself. And of course, we need people. Of course, I'm not saying that we don't, but it's when we can internally comfort that then those external illusions of comfort lose their power over us. Because there are going to be some times where we can't go to those things, where we do need to just take care of it on our own. And I think being able to turn it as an invitation to go internal, even if it's ugly and it is low and not fun. Believe me, I just had a moment earlier. It's an invitation. I'm like trying to frame it like, oh, thank heavens, Jasmine is here, trying to invite Jasmine to the party. And it's always through the melancholy, you know? And I've been given a hard time by friends, family, people who love me the most, that I can't make a decision, or I'm sort of flip-flopping. I can't decide. Like 1 minute I'm feeling this way and I need to do this, and then the next moment I'm feeling like I need to do this. And then, it just goes back and forth. And it really has to do, a lot of it has to do with my mood or like what I'm feeling that day. But my goodness, that can be really stressful for the people around me. But it's also, I know it's stressful for the people around me. Okay, yeah. But do you think that's where I want to be? In indecision? No. And I think part of indecision, nothing is wrong with you. There is nothing that you necessarily need to rush to figure out, right? Or fix. And there is no one that can help you figure it out either. But that indecision is connected to the melancholy. It is the frequency of times that you have rejected diving into your melancholy and taking that invitation from yourself kind of snowballs itself into indecision, right? So indecision is the melancholy that has snowballed that you have ignored. It is the melancholy, which is the invitation to internally comforting yourself and seeing what else is going on and not reaching for the external, right? Comforts. My mommy, my popcorn, my trip to Greece, whatever it might be, right? And then the indecision, I know in moments of indecision where I'm like changing my mind every week, sometimes I'm like, gosh, I'm like a different person every week and every month. I'm driving people crazy. I know it. And believe me, I'm driving myself crazy, like I was saying, but it's in those moments that I really want to get help from a healer or someone. And yes, that can be really useful, but sometimes in those like heightened moments of indecision, it's not the greatest spark in which I want that healing energy, because what I'm doing then is I'm kind of being like, oh my gosh, I need them to tell me what to do, right? I really need them to tell me what to do. I need them to tell me what to do. And that's the issue. And that's what's really hard, is that I don't care who the healer is. There are amazing healers out there. Oh my gosh. And I use them, believe me, but like, I don't care who they are, how much work they do on themselves. But they're always how would they not, right? They're always gonna have a little bit of their matching stories or matching energetics with you involved in what they're sort of dishing out to you. okay? Whether they've kind of made separations from you energetically or not, right? They're gonna put a little bit of their matching, it's just gonna come out. It just I mean, you know what I mean? Like, just for example, when a friend calls you and they need your advice, and let's say it's a story that, oh my gosh, I've made that story before. I've been there. I totally can relate to this. You're gonna give them that advice, or that this is what you should do, that's sort of involved in your own energetics of it. Okay. Yes, you're seeing them as a different person. I'm sure you are, but it's still hard for us to make separations. You know what I mean? If you have a similar feeling or something similar, a similar story you've created as someone else, you're going to put your energy, your own personal energy out there into it for them to chew on, right? So what I'm saying is, yes, get help. Yes, talk to healers, whatever. But like, at the end of the day, like I said in my last video, the real healer is you, because when you are invited into that melancholy moment, you can then really see what's going on, and nothing else is around to influence it. Nothing else is around to bounce around in your field or change your energy based on someone's matching stories, matching pictures, whatever, right? So it's not easy. Indecision, not knowing what to do, not knowing, okay, this is not an ideal situation I'm in, but I don't know what to do next. That is not easy. It really is not easy. But you know, if you can flip it and be like, this is such a holy invitation for me to go into me, even if it's kind of dark, even if it's a little not fun, or maybe it will be so much fun if you just took the invitation, who knows, right? But that is your comfort, and that is your security, and you always have it, because the one guarantee, there are two guarantees, okay? The one is that you will always have you. So you better always have you. You better always have your back, because it's just you and you, right? And the second guarantee is that we're not always going to be here in these bodies, right? So two guarantees is that you can always be with yourself, and you aren't always going to be in this body. So use those melancholy moments as a way to look in, instead of reaching for those external comforts or fixes or soothing things, right? Instead, reach within, and you just might be surprised. And the more that you do this, the more that you let yourself get invited into your melancholy moments, the more that indecision, or that, you know, incapability, I don't even know if that's a word, whatever. And I'm very redundant, by the way, so I might say the same thing in different ways like thousands of times. It's one of my things, but whatever. I know I'm redundant, but, and see, here I am again. But you are going to be okay. And the more that you look at those melancholy moments and you get invited by yourself to them, and you go to that party, even if it's not a fun one, you're going to figure a lot of the unknowns out. You are. And the greatest thing about that is that you're going to be in your own energy for it. No one is going to be influencing you like, oh, you know, great friends of yours, family, they love you, they know you so well, right? They're like, gosh, you would be so amazing if you moved over there and you did that kind of work. You're so good at it. And yes, you know, maybe that's great to hear, and thank you for telling me. But at the end of the day, you are going to have to do what you really want to do, because if it's something you really don't want to do, you're not really going to do it. So also trust the fact that if it's something that you really want to do, you'll do it. All right. And it might just take time. And it might be that you have a little bit more indecision than a lot of people around you right now. Don't worry. You're just needing more step-ins to that melancholy moment that maybe you're rejecting or you're trying to fix. So anyways, I send love to you. Remember, melancholy moments are needed. Have a wonderful rest of your melancholy moment Saturday. I'll talk to you guys soon.